So he's singling out Friday night, pointing to the groups that were there protesting the statue. I just want to show you a video from Friday night. And when you look at this video, and it's about a minute and a half, but we think it's worth you seeing the entire thing, ask yourself, do the people in this video who are chanting, "Jews will not replace us," and chanting "blood and soil," an old Nazi slogan, do they seem to be just quiet fans of the history of Robert E. Lee? Now, this video is from Vice Media.
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us! Blood and soil! 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 Whose streets? Our streets! 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 Whose streets? Our streets!
So those were the people protesting the Robert E. Lee statue being taken down, or the idea of it being taken down, the people who President Trump said were just quietly there, just good people.
What I want to show you now, viewers, is a wonderful scene. These are Muslim mums. There's a little fella here who's bought a little sign. And this is in commemoration, you can see his little sign, to the heroes of London. There are flowers on the street here, ladies with hashtag turn to love, hashtag ISIS equals enemies of Islam, hashtag ISIS will lose, hashtag turn to London. And I think a poignant scene, and a scene we should sit on just for you viewers, to understand exactly how people feel here on the streets of London, so close to what were such brutal attacks last night.
step, please.
a 4-minute sign, and this is in commemoration to the lives to the heroes of London. There are flowers on the street here, ladies with hashtag Turkey Love, hashtag ISIS enemies of Islam, hashtag ISIS removed, hashtag return to London. A poignant scene, a scene we should sit on just for you viewers. I don't understand exactly.
Just bump out on it.
London, so close to what were.
Millie Weaver reporting for InfoWars.com. Well, I'm just chiming in right now to give you guys an update and tell you a little bit about what went down in Charlottesville, Virginia. So the Unite the Right rally started out pretty peaceful. Initially, there were some opposition groups there as well. Looks like some church choirs. However, as soon as Antifa and Black Lives Matter arrived, it instantly went downhill and got pretty bad. Antifa was they were the ones aggressing, most definitely. They were throwing things, pepper spraying, shouting, kill Nazis, you know, we will destroy you, all kinds of things they were yelling at them. And for the most part, the Unite the Right rally attendees were trying to be peaceful. They didn't want their event to get shut down due to violence. And you could see that there were a bunch of corrals kind of surrounding their event where they were at, like blocking them in a square, essentially in front of the General Lee Confederate statue. And you had police kind of at their backside and on their left and right side. And in front of them was Antifa, Black Lives Matter. And the crowd of Antifa and Black Lives Matter was rather large. It instantly started getting violent. I saw the Antifa have a cooler, and then they pulled this cooler out. Next thing you know, water bottles are being hucked, and water balloons are being hucked. And the water balloons were full of urine, feces, paint, just all kinds of chemicals. People were getting pepper sprayed. Our camera guy got pepper sprayed directly in the face by an Antifa guy. And he was blind for a good like 30-45 minutes. Like, he could not see at all, and it was horrible. His eyes were swollen. Luckily, I wasn't near that when that went down. I got separated, and I was just kind of hanging out near the medic area and at the Unite the Right medic area. And there were so many people just completely drenched in pepper spray and chemicals and urine, and you know, it was all coming from the Antifa side. They were literally hucking stuff into the crowd at the Unite the Right rally. And I went and I asked the police, I said, why aren't you guys doing anything? Why aren't you going and arresting the people that are being violent and attacking people out here that are just trying to exercise the First Amendment? Now, here's the reality, guys. You may not agree with everything that these people at the Unite the Rally stand for, but if you're an American and you believe in the Constitution and the First Amendment, they do have a right to peacefully assembly and to peacefully protest, and that's what they were doing for the most part. Then the Antifa came and the Black Lives Matter came to shut them down with the intention of being violent, and they didn't believe in the First Amendment. They didn't believe these people should have a right to voice their opinions and whatnot. So that's why things got pretty bad and pretty violent. Now, I will say that definitely the police were standing down. I even asked one of the police officers, you know, as to why you aren't doing anything, and they said that they were giving stand-down orders from the mayor. So essentially, this travesty, now that we've seen with somebody plowing through protesters with a vehicle, this is on the mayor's hands. This is on the police force's hands. They stood down. They didn't do anything. They could have de-escalated by getting in between both sides and saying, hey, we're going to make sure that, you know, both of you guys are out here peacefully, you know, exercising your First Amendment right. But they didn't do that. No, instead, actually, what the police did was they then declared that this was an unlawful assembly and actually told the Unite the Right rally people there that they were really backed up against the police because of the violent Antifa. They said, you guys have to leave or you guys are going to be arrested. And I asked the officer, I said, well, you know, is there any way we can leave the direction that you guys are and we can just remove these gates and go the direction you are so we don't have to go through the Antifa? They said, nope, you guys need to leave the way that you came in, basically go through the Antifa, or else you guys are going to be arrested. Everyone here is going to be arrested unless you have proof that you're a citizen. And so, proof that you're a resident of Charlottesville. They basically said everyone needed to leave or you're going to be arrested. So, lo and behold, then the Unite the Right people have to literally walk through the Antifa, the Black Lives Matter, as they're literally throwing things at them, screaming at them, spitting on them, pepper spraying them. All heck broke loose. I mean, it was crazy, guys. And next thing you know, a national emergency is declared. The National Guard comes in, and then that's your justification for a police state. And it definitely seemed like George Soros was backing the groups on the Antifa side and the Black Lives Matter side. And I really am suspicious that there were some deep state handlers at the spearhead of some of these Unite the Right groups that attended today. I feel like, you know, this definitely just had deep state written all over it, and this is how you justify a police state. This is what you do. And now, of course, you have the mainstream media out there saying that, oh, it's such a, you know, this is so horrible that this car accident happened, that people were hurt, but it's, you know, it's all these, whoa, all right, it is raining right now, guys. That was a big lightning. Okay, so they're basically saying that it's all the conservatives' fault. It's all their fault because they're the horrible ones that decided to have this rally in the first place. But they totally leave out Antifa, Black Lives Matter, the mayor's role in all of this, who's actually encouraging Black Lives Matter and these groups to come out and counter-protest and shut down the people who initially put on this event. Whereas if everyone would have just ignored it, let these people have their protest, their rally, whatever, you wouldn't hear anything of it, and it would be ignored by the media. But no, it was too much like a deep state operation if I've ever seen it in my whole life. I saw people from both sides that looked like I've seen them before at several other rallies all across the United States. And I'm a reporter, so I'm going to these other rallies, but what are these people doing? Why are they going to these rallies? Who's paying them as paid protesters, paid provocateurs to attend all these other rallies across the nation? Is it George Soros by any means? I mean, give me a break, guys. This is what they want. They want a race war. The deep state wants a race war. The deep state wants us to be fighting each other. The deep state wants us to act violent and stupid in the streets and to try and shut down each other's First Amendment, to make violent protests a thing in the country so that they can then say that we should get rid of and ban protesting, ban the First Amendment. I mean, it's cart before the horse. It's how it's a Hegelian dialect. So, all in all, guys, from what I've seen, the mainstream media right now is making it out that these violent, white supremacist, racist, horrible, conservative people were out there and they were the bullies and they were the bad guys. And look, guys, I don't agree with these guys' opinions on everything. I have differing views, and we'll just put it at that. But all in all, that's not what happened, and I'm just going to be real with you guys. The Antifa were the ones out there being the bad guys. Literally, they were throwing things. They came ready. They had tear gas canisters that they were throwing and deploying on people. The police stood down. They didn't do anything. They just stood there, and I'm like, what the heck? They're like, sorry, we have orders from above. We can't do anything. Basically, sorry, doesn't matter. Our oath of office means nothing because we just take commands from a mayor that wanted this all to go down in the first place. So, guys, that's pretty much all what happened. I just want to reiterate that I got pepper sprayed in the arm. It was pretty bad. It was burning my arm for a little while, and it made my nose burn, my throat burn. Our camera guy got directly pepper sprayed in the face by an Antifa protester because he was interviewing and talking to an attendee there that said that they had witnessed or had evidence of these Antifa and Black Lives Matter groups being actually brought down there and paid for to go down there by George Soros funded and Foundation groups. So then this Antifa got violence, tried to rip the camera out of his hand, rip the microphone, and then lo and behold, pepper sprayed the guy. Even right now, our microphone, I'll show you right now, the microphone even has mace on it still. Give me a break. I mean, it's crazy. It was all out war, guys. It was not fun. It was pretty scary. And I'm just going to say, we need to start speaking out, because the side on the right is fascist, the side on the left is communist, and at the end of the day, we just want to support people's First Amendment right to protest, and we can't let a few people getting violent in the streets come in the way or even make us question whether or not we should still have the right to peaceful assembly and protest in this country. All right, guys, I'll be kind of updating on this as it goes along, and thanks so much for the support. Thanks for hanging in there with us, guys. Make sure you go to InfoWars.com.